Okay, greetings everyone, and welcome to the presentation that will get you ready to complete your assignments for Chapter 9 of Opening Skinner's Box, Memory, Inc. The first thing you're going to want to do is complete the previewing assignment. For all of the chapters we've done so far, either because of note-taking, I provided all of the background knowledge for you, or I provided all of the topics and had you research them. If you remember Chapter 5, we did that. Many of the chapters, I gave you topics that you should research. So because we're nearing the end of the semester, it's probably time that I back out from that and let you take over. So for your previewing for this chapter, you will need to scan the chapter, preview it, and figure out what kind of background knowledge you might need in order to read the chapter better. Remember, we have talked about previewing and picture walking, and so it's probably what you should start with. Page through the chapter, scan it, pay attention to proper nouns, which are names, specific names of people, places, and things. That will give you a pretty good idea of the kinds of topics that you will want to look up. So, you need to make a list, and then follow your plan. Do whatever you decide you need to do in order to gain background knowledge. So decide what you should look up, decide what you should watch, if there's videos on memory that you think you should watch, or whatever you think is appropriate. But you plan your strategy, write it up, follow your plan, and then report your findings. Let me know how all of it went and how it was helpful. Label this section of your QQMS previewing. So you should have an entire page of work and research that you have planned and you've decided on, and that will be the first page and the first section of your QQMS. So part 1, previewing. Part 2 will be your actual QQMS. So once you've done the previewing assignment, you'll be ready to read. Chapter 9, Memory, Inc. It's about Eric Kandel and his sea slugs. This will connect to a lot of the ideas from Elizabeth Loftus, but also connect to some of what we learned in the Skinner chapter. So read the way you always do and prepare to complete your QQMS. Then go ahead and do your QQMS, pick your questions, explain them, pick your quotes, explain them, complete your major support, and then here's your sentence starter for your thesis. In Chapter 9 of Opening Skinner's Box, Lawrence Slater tells the story of, and you'll finish this sentence. So complete your QQMS. Now for the quest. Okay, so this will be a little bit different because your quest now is being used as pre-work for an assignment that you will complete where you will stretch the blue sheet, stretch the rhetorical analysis worksheet, and go all the way to source analysis. And so because of this, we are going to use one of the sources from your quest to complete your other big assignment this week. So because of that, your quest will be a little bit different this week. So you're going to pick your question just like you normally do, and of course it can come from your QQMS. But because it's a little bit different, you might have to think a little bit more broadly or a little bit more deeply so that you can have a question that will work. So the topic needs to be controversial. So I'll give you some sample ideas here. You might ask about memory pharmaceuticals, right? And the ethics behind a memory pill or a forgetting pill. Had they made one? Remember, this book was published in 2006. Lots of time for advancements in the field of memory. And so what kind of drugs did memory pharmaceuticals or other companies like them, what kind of drugs have they made to help aid in memory or in forgetting, all based on Kandel's research? And how is that, those pills or those ideas, how are they being used? And so you're probably going to see, when you do your research, you're going to see people on different sides, people that are for these kinds of medications and people that are against them. And so that's why you need a controversial topic. You also might wonder just what other kind of memory enhancing research that's been done since this book was published. But again, the topic should be controversial, where there are people that agree with what's going on and people that disagree with what's going on. So once you have your question, you're going to research it. But make sure your sources offer different opinions on your topic. So again, you're going to be looking now for sources of people that agree and sources of people that disagree with your topic. Okay, so that's what makes it a little different. Make sure your question is about a controversial topic, and make sure you're looking for both sides of the argument when you do your research. All right, then the quest. You're going to present your findings just like you normally do. So number 1, state your question, explain why you picked it, and then give your research. The only difference this time is I do want you to be looking at the source, like the publisher, who's publishing the article that you're reading, and who actually wrote it, and what kind of credibility in the field do they have. See what you can find out about that and report what you can. So give your research. You know you need 3 articles that you've researched. So again, remember, because you need before and against people, you might have 2 for, 2 against, or 1 against, or whatever combination makes sense. But present your information. Make sure you look at where it was published and who wrote it, and then give your notes. Set it up the same way you have done your quests in the past, and then don't forget about your wrap back section. How has your research helped you to understand Candle, the chapter, and memory? Okay, so then your quest is complete. So you are going to submit your quest and your QQMS together in the same assignment folder. You'll see in the web file that gives you this video, as well as all of the other steps, that the assignment folder is for both assignments, your QQMS and your quest. Don't forget, your QQMS must have that previewing work, and that must come first. So the previewing work, followed by the QQMS, followed by the quest. Those are the 3 components that need to be submitted into this assignment folder. Then you're going to want to complete the discussion board this week. Remember, initial posts are due on Wednesdays by 11:30 p.m. and replies are due Fridays by 11:30 p.m. This is a screenshot of the discussion board on the right side of the screen. Those are your questions, but know that if you click into the discussion board, you will see the questions there as well, but they're here for your reference. And there is Candle Sea Slug. I thought you might like to see a picture of it. That's all the work for Chapter 9. However, remember, you are going to use one of the sources from your quests to extend upon in the next assignment. So again, that's why it matters so much that you have listened to this video and followed the directions carefully. Have fun, and I can't wait to see what you thought of Candle and his slugs.